Welcome to the Ladies Kickin' Ass Podcast, your source of unstoppable energy, inspiring stories, and expert coaching. I'm your host, Tanya Wilson, and today's a quickie, but a goodie, so let's just dive right in. Hey there, badasses. Welcome back to the podcast. Hey, today I just wanted to jump in and share something with you that is on my heart, things I have been working on for myself and for my business. And I really think that this is something that a lot of you can take some great inspiration and maybe some marching orders from to go out and really kick some ass in your business and really get your mindset right for growing an incredible service-based business. And the things I'd love to talk to you about today is really threefold. It's mindset mastery for you as the business owner. So I'm talking about working on yourself, working on your personal development, working on how you frame things inside of your business and outside of your business. Because how we operate outside of our business really does reflect how we operate inside of our business. There's a huge correlation there. If things aren't going right outside of the business in our lives, it's really hard to make the business go. And as much as we want to say, and it's been said for like ever, leave your personal business outside of the walls of work. And then when you come to work, just put on your work hat. Really fucking cool, but we're also people. And when shit isn't working outside of work, oftentimes that is carried into work. And vice versa. When things aren't working at work, we carry that at home and into our other relationships as well. So, really want to talk about mindset mastery as a business owner, kind of some of the things I've been doing to work on that, and maybe give you some inspiration to do that yourself. The other thing I want to talk to you about is tactical training for scaling up your business. What can you do? Where can you go to get tactical training, like hands-on training, shit that is really focused towards service-based businesses so that you can go back and start implementing that into your own company? It's so important that even if we're rocking and rolling and kicking ass, that we continuously invest in learning how to do things better and at a greater scale within our business. Because let's face it, once we get to a certain point, you've only known how to run this size of a business. Like for me, I at most have had 15 employees and we've hit like 1.7 million. Well, we're on track this year to do over $2 million. We're on track this year to hire more people. I'm not sure if we'll be at that 15 yet, but we will definitely have more people. And how can I be even better to be a coach, a mentor, and the CEO of this business? How can I hold people accountable? How can I hold myself accountable to really show up the best way that I can? So, tactical training for scaling up. And then the third thing I'd love to talk to you about is going from that owner operator mentality into being a visionary leader. Like, how do we do that? I know a lot of times it's like that first hire where you're like, no one's going to love this as much as you. And you're right. No one will. But there are people that'll love it really close to what you do if you find the right people. So we're going to talk about what that looks like and the mindset that goes into that, along with the tactics that go into that, so that you can then run your business as an owner and not be working in it every day, but working on it. Cool? I think this is a great conversation, and I can't help but want to come back and share with you. I have been spending the last couple of weeks doing a lot of this training. I'm actually heading to California this week to work on some more mindset mastery. And this is personal development that I do myself. You'll hear me often talk about on this podcast, Growth Day or my Ultra group. It is a mastermind group and personal development course that is done with Brendan Burchard. It is an app you can download on your phone. It's something as simple as a daily fire pep talk that just gets you rolling in the morning, or the ability to journal, the ability to learn other mindset skills. It's so incredibly important. And I'm not just toting just Growth Day, although it is amazing. There are lots of other ones out there. We have also done a lot of work. I've told you all about Tony Robbins before. We have done a lot of work with other companies before. It's just continuously making sure that you are making the choice to always be working on yourself and your mindset. Because I'll tell you what, when you grow a business, you have to grow your mindset. We went to a training this last week and they were actually asking us to think about what our business would look like 5, 10, even 20 years from now. The mindset that we all have right now, I would dare to say, I say this for myself, can't even dream that big yet because it seems so untouchable. But when you put stuff down on paper, like I drew out an org chart and last year my business did 1.6 million. This year we're on trend to do over 2. I sat down and just put for in the next 5 years, I want to have a $20 million business. And some of you may be like, yeah, okay, sure. But if I don't dream that big, if I don't think that big, how the hell am I ever supposed to get there? 20 million. I think I can do it in 5 years. I really do. And I think it's because I'm making a conscious choice to believe that I can. Many times we want people from the outside to validate the things that we want in our hearts, and we don't even say them out loud. 1, because we're afraid of what people will think of us. 2, there is a little level of uncertainty there as to whether or not we can actually do it. And we don't want to let ourselves down. And guess what? Both of those things are okay. But if we don't put it out there, if we don't say it, if I don't say to you, I think in 5 years I can have a $20 million business, how am I being a good example to tell you guys to do that? I'm going to dream big. I'm going to have a $20 million business in 5 years. And how am I going to do that? Well, that's where I need to go to tactical training and I need to learn the people I need to hire. How do I need to skill up to be able to build a business to that level? But it all starts in our minds. If we can dream it, we really can do it. A lot of times we get stuck in the weeds and thinking, how? How can I do this? How? But what we really need to be asking ourselves is, who can help me do this? You know, you've heard that saying before, like, how do you eat a whole elephant? And then people will say, one bite at a time. Well, the smarter way to answer that is go get some help. Ask for help. Many times we look at our business and we're like, okay, so I grew it to this point, and now that's such a huge jump for me to grow it to this. But what we have to realize is that we're not going to do that by ourselves. One thing I really realized in my training this last week, there was a speaker up on the stage and he was talking about how he knew that he could grow a $4 million business by himself. But after that, he kept hitting his head on the ceiling and hitting it and hitting it and hitting it, and he couldn't figure out why he couldn't break through. But when he hired some help, he was easily able to double the business. Now, I want you to think about that. We need to stop asking how, and we need to start asking who can help us. I'm at that point in my business where I have to hire people that are smarter than I am at the business part of things so that they can help me get to that point. And many times it's an ego check at the door of saying, I don't know this shit. And I need to ask somebody to help me that already does. And you can learn from them. You can actually hire people in your business and learn from them instead of having the mentality of, I have to train everyone to get to my level that I hire here. That's a whole nother set of hiring, though. That's a scary another level of hiring because it's people that we haven't never hired before. They're also technically more expensive than the people that you hire and then you train up in your business. But you got to think about what your goals look like. Now, if your goals are to stay where you're at, fantastic. That's great too. I'm not saying everybody wants to scale, but this conversation is for people that want to grow their business. I want to outgrow my business. And what I mean by that is that I've hired so many people in the right spots that they don't need me for daily operation of this business. Now I get to invest more time in personal development. I get to explore other avenues I would like to work on that may be inside of the business, maybe outside of the business, maybe a whole nother business, maybe just investing your time more with your family or your kids or your friends. Whatever that looks like to you, I think the ultimate goal and the mindset mastery for business owners is understanding that you shouldn't be the business. One, if you should always grow a business with the end in mind. And the end in mind for most of us is to sell the business. Most people in the home service industry end up getting sold with the business and then they become an employee of a business that they used to own because they didn't set it up properly to where they could hand it off to someone else and they could run it like they did. Why is that? Because they were one of the key people that ran the business. So my big goal with my company is to make sure that I'm not a key person in the business. I'm not one of those people. I want to hire people to make sure that they're running this business. It's not me running the business. Now, can I still be the visionary and the dreamer and the big, chief dream person? Absolutely. Somebody's got to have vision. That's what I was looking for, not chief dream person, but like have the vision to grow this thing to a $20 million business. Like, how fucking cool would that be to be like, I'm a woman in the wastewater industry and I have a $20 million business? That's my new goal before I turn, let's see, I just turned 42, so in 5 years, 47. I think that if I could say by the time I'm 50 years old that I have a $20 million business, how freaking cool would that be? Many times we look at it like we've got to build this business and hurry up and sell it because I don't want to work in it anymore. How about we build this business up big enough that we don't have to work in it, but we still own it, which means that we still have equity in it, which means we still are making money off of it, but you're not working directly in the business anymore. To me, that's the ultimate goal to get to. So that is going to require us to be able to seek out amazing people that can come onto our team. And when we're interviewing for those things, we want to interview those people that have big ideas. We don't want to be limited with our own limiting beliefs. We don't want to put those on other people. We want to hire people that come in with ideas. Somebody that can look at our business from the outside and can give us some great ideas on what we could do to build and scale the business. So, really focus, I would say, the next couple of weeks on one little thing every single day that you can do to level up your mindset. I'm going to be posting these on social media, and it's just going to be one little tactical thing you can do every day to master up your mindset. I don't think total mastery of mindset will ever be achieved, but how can we master up our mindset daily? What is it that you can do that you can work on your mindset? I think some of the biggest things for me is to look at what is a limiting belief for me in my business and how can I work to change that. For me, financial anything has always been a real struggle for me because I know we've talked about this on the podcast before, but like, can I do financial stuff? Do I understand it? Yeah, enough. But now my business is getting bigger. I need somebody that's even more organized and more knowledgeable to be able to help take me to that next level. And it's been a real ego check to be like, I don't know, especially when you've had people steal money from you before, not once, but twice. And I feel like I got to have it just gripped so tight. But what I'm doing with that is I'm squeezing it to death. It's like that old adage of like holding sand lightly in your hand. And then when you squeeze it, it goes everywhere. I realize I've been a big strain on the financial gain of this business for a long time. And so I have to hire people outside to do that. And I found an incredible team to help me. But I know enough myself that I can still keep oversight on that. And that's what the important thing is. I know I can't let what has happened to me in the past happen again. So, what do I implement to do that? And this is that mindset mastery of I'm not this poor kid from Wyoming anymore. That more money can be made. Things cost money. We have to pay for stuff. And it's okay that we pay money out. We don't have to hoard it. It's those little things that you have to get over in your own mindset and make sure that it's not reflective in your business. And if you aren't quite following what I'm thinking here, look at your personal financial situation, look at the financial situation of your business. And I would dare to say most of the time, they mirror each other. How can we make them both greater? Because I don't know about you, babe, but I want us all to be badass, rich people that can do amazing, amazing things for other people. That's something that my kids have asked me before. Mom, if you had $1 million right now, what would you do with that? And my mind immediately goes to who could I help with that? Sometimes people think, oh, if I make a whole bunch of money, then I'm one of those rich sticks, or I'm going to be an asshole because everybody that's rich is like that. It's not true. Money is a magnifier. It magnifies who you are at your core. For me, I want to be able to help people. That's who I am at my core, is that I want to help people. And being able to be resourceful with money allows me to help more people. So really think about what it is. Dream big. Write down the things that you want to do when you make $1 million and it's just sitting there just waiting for you to do something with it. What do you do with it? I think this really helps us be able to master some of those things that we really, really do struggle with. If it's a confidence issue, find different ways that you can get out in front of people to talk. It's one of the scariest things ever for people that struggle with confidence. But damn, your business. Get somewhere where you can talk about your business and you can be like, oh my gosh, I did it. And the more you do it, the better you get. The more you do it, the better you get. So if it's something that you're struggling with mindset wise as a business owner that you struggle with personally that you can see reflected in your business, write it down and look at it every day and figure out how you're not going to let that kick your ass today. Kick your ass in a bad way. You know what I'm talking about. So the second thing that we want to talk about today is tactical training for scaling up your business. And what that is just basic operational how-tos. Take a big look at your business, sit down with somebody in your business and identify the holes. Identify what's working great. And now how do we mix those together? One of the big things that we did at our training this last week, we are a member of Blue Collar Success Group, which I will tag down here in the show notes. There are an incredible group of home service professionals that have actually owned and operated big home service companies before, but they now provide coaching opportunities for other home service companies. Not only just the business owners, but also the technicians, the office, the sales reps, like everybody that is part of your company. So definitely check them out. They're incredible. But something that they were talking about was really understanding the basic operations of your business. And they started that out by having us draw out an org chart of our business. How many of you have an org chart of your business? I don't care if it's just you. Start there, which is great because that's always the top position that you want to start with. And even if it's just you, what do you want that business to look like in 5 years? Can you draw an org chart out that will show that? Even with me, with the 7 people that are on my team, I drew out a huge org chart. Something I want to see in 5 years when I have a $20 million business. It's going to require a lot more people to get to that level. What does it look like? Where do the people that are currently in my business fall in this big proposed 5 years from now org chart? Not only is this great at helping you identify maybe next best hires or how your business is actually running, but also it shows opportunity for the people that work inside of your small business. Because many times people work in small business and they think, well, shit, I'm the only technician, so there's nowhere for me to go. That's not true. It's not true at all. And just because they have been the longest technician that has been there tenure-wise, that doesn't mean that they're the next best pick for a field manager or a service manager or an operations manager. Tenure, sure, shows loyalty within the job, but can they do what you need that position to be? And it's a great talking tool to be able to tell the people inside of your business, you want to get to here? Well, this is how you do it, and this is the job expectation at that level. Because they can then start honing and working on those skills, maybe as a lower technician or an apprentice, and work their way up to that. There's nothing that we love more. It really is the American dream of being able to come in, learn a skill, work your way up to the point of being the manager for that position or owning their own business, which is really, really cool. A lot of times I've heard, well, I don't want to teach them everything, or I don't want to give them all this training that I get because God forbid they go start their own business. And to me, my response to that is God forbid they stay at your company and you don't train them. Then what? Then what are you dealing with? They're going to be the same person that they were a year from now. And that's not going to help you grow your business either. So don't ever be worried about that. You treat them well, you give them great opportunities. You can't guarantee anyone's going to stay at your business for any part or or want to stay there for a long period of time. Many people have dreams and goals of building their own thing. And how cool to be somebody that helped them get to that place. I think it's the ultimate to be able to say that somebody learned from you and that they're wanting to be able to go out on their own and be able to start their own business. But many times, if it's a competitive business, that's done out of spite, not because they loved working for your company. So let's make sure that we create loyalty by treating them well and training them well and getting them to stick with our company for the long haul. That's going to help you be able to build this business of your dreams. This is going to help you be able to own a business, not just your job. We don't want to own our jobs anymore. We want to own the business. And we can't do that when we are one of the people that is key to the operation of that business every day. That is not something we can ever scale and sell because you're key to the operation of the business that day. It's really, really interesting. If you don't follow Cody Sanchez, I highly recommend that you do. I love her to pieces. But she talks so much about this service industry and what people call boring businesses. With the baby boomers aging and now passing away and being one of the large sectors of business owners, there are so many businesses that will never get sold and will just die because they were a key player in the business. Or they've grown this beautiful business for 30, 40, 50 years and they can't sell it because they did a lot of the stuff inside of the business, or they'll end up selling it for like basically the equipment that they have and a customer list because there was no processes together to keep it together as a business. Someone just wants to take their market share. Don't be one of those businesses. Learn from that. Learn that if you want this business to continue through you, past you, you have to make sure and set it up so that you aren't the linchpin that keeps it from being sold, and you're not the person that has to go with the business and become an employee of something that you once created. We do that by making sure that we have implemented the right people in our business to run it. Now, a lot of times, again, this is an ego check of saying, I don't have to be the one involved here. I don't have to be the end say, the be all of everything. What I can do is I can mentor, I can dream, I can create for this business. And then I have hired the right people to be able to execute on it. How many of you have great ideas for your business, great ideas on how to grow your business, but you fail to execute because you don't have time? We need to definitely hire those executors. Somebody that can take our vision and run with it and make it come to fruition. I mean, after all, that's how we are going to actually grow a business. And the last thing I'd love to talk to you about in closing here is just switching from that owner operator mentality to being a visionary leader of your company. What does that look like? That goes from working in the business as being the marketing person, as being the finance person, to actually working on the business, building an org chart, writing job descriptions, finding the next best talent that can come into the business, training them up without losing out on your day-to-day stuff, without getting behind, without bottlenecking the business. When you get to work on your business and not in your business, girlfriend, you want to take a week off with your family and be super cool that nothing is getting held up inside of your business because you're not there? You can do that if you get the right people hired and the right processes together. We really, really, really have to have three important things. There really has to be a defined role for everyone inside of the business and accountability to carry that out. And we have to have the processes in place that, oh shit, if something happens, what do we do here? Or there's a way for people to refer back to, if this person isn't here, who do I talk to for this? These processes are so important to get in place. Even if you're the owner operator right now, you're the only person in the business, write down all the stuff you're doing. There's a beautiful program called Loom. I'll tag that too for you in the show notes, where you can go in and screen record everything you're working on. I'm working really hard to do this with everything that I do in my business. I have somebody coming back to join my team in June or July that previously worked for my team. And I'm going to be able to give her a library of videos and say, this is what I need you to do to help me now. It's not going to take any time out of my day to be able to sit down with her and go through it and watch what she's doing and shadow her, because she'll have a library of videos already at her disposal that she can watch and rewatch as many times as she needs to be able to carry forward the things that I need to get done in the business that she'll now be responsible for. I can't tell you how much time it will save you to put together processes inside of your business, even when you're the only person. And again, back to the elephant adage, you're like, holy shit, Tanya, that's so much work. How the hell am I supposed to do all of this at one time? One process a day. One process a day. Write that down on your top 3 to-dos. What's your one process today that you're going to screen record? What's your one process today that you're going to write down or type up and put into a Google Drive or some area? We use a program called Trainual. I'll also tag that here for you, where you can upload things and you can build your own training programs that they just sit down and they basically train themselves from the information that you have created for them. So super cool, and such a great way to be able to build an amazing business that is scalable because you are now not the only trainer. How many of us get field technicians and we spend 3 to 6 months training them how to do stuff? And then the next guy comes in and we rinse and repeat the entire situation again. Get those processes in place so that you can help them become their greatest selves as quick as possible. The long-term benefits of spending time up front to organize this and the time you will get on the back end is more than tenfold. You spend 30 minutes organizing something today or putting a process together today, it will save you hours down the road, especially as you scale, because you don't know how many times you're even going to end up using this. Isn't that so cool? And a lot of times we think, oh shit, we don't have time to sit down and go through this all right now because I'll just get it done. I'll just get it done and then I don't have to show somebody else how to do it. But that defeats the purpose of growing a really strong business where we can work on it instead of in it. So again, just to recap, we definitely want to focus on 3 cool things this week in the business. And if you could just write one down, fantastic. If you need to follow us on Instagram or on our Facebook page or our group at Ladies Kickin' Ass, do it. Because I'm going to post every single day a master up mindset idea for you that you can work on that day. And I'd love to hear what you come up with in the comments so that we can work on this together and help hold each other accountable. I mean, that is what this community is about, after all the time. Mindset mastery for you as a business owner isn't something you should work on. It's the first thing you should work on. Because if we're not strong up here, our team's not going to be strong. We can't expect them to do things that we don't believe in ourselves. This is where you go from being a boss to a leader and a coach. Nobody needs a boss. Nobody wants to be bossed around. But people want to be led and people want to be coached. It's not pushy. It doesn't have a negative connotation behind those things. It's welcomed. And that's what we want to do to be able to also help spread the mindset of the people that work inside of our companies. especially in the home service industry. I mean, oh my gosh, like the first day of the blue collar success group, I could see people like just zoning out because they were talking about mindset because they started there. It's so important. And it's not that they don't want to learn this stuff. It's not that your technicians think it's woo woo and that they're never going to buy into it. It's the consistency and the way that you display it for them. It's the way that you come at them with it. It's not something that you expect them to change overnight, but it's something that we are continuously talking about in our technicians or our office meetings to where they understand that we care about you as a person. We care about your mindset as a person because that's a direct reflection on how you'll become a great team member and you'll be able to help us grow this business. So really, really, really find ways that you can invest in your team and yourself with mindset. And then jump into a training program. If you don't have a budget line item or if you haven't saved any money at all to be able to invest in training for yourself in the business and for your employees, that's something you got to look for and you've got to be able to create. Because just like when we're talking to our kids, sometimes our employees need to be able to go somewhere else and learn things from somebody besides us. Because, as the owners of the business, sometimes you can be looked at as like, no, mom's at it again. But then somebody else can tell them the same thing and they're like, oh my gosh, it's a great idea. It doesn't really matter who it comes from. And again, this is the ego check, but you definitely got to be able to allow them to learn things from people that aren't just you. And then the third thing, again, really figure out how you can move from owner operator into the visionary leader that you want to be for your business. One, because this gives you hella time freedom. You're not stuck to your business anymore because you've hired people that can run it whether you're there or not. That's the ultimate goal for all of us in the home service industry. And so I hope this has been super helpful for you today. Please leave me some feedback on this. I'd love to hear what you have to say. And also definitely be checking out the Instagram posts for the next 2 weeks. And let's talk about it. Let's master up our mindsets. Let's work on investing in some tactical training to scale up for our business. And girl, you can switch from that owner operator mindset into a visionary mindset, visionary leader anytime you want to. It's a choice, and I hope you'll make it today to invest in yourself so that you can grow this business your way. Till next time, go kick some ass. Thanks for being part of the Ladies Kickin' Ass community. Cheers to all you badass women out there. Keep rocking your power, igniting your fire, and making waves in the service industry. If you loved today's episode, please do me a quick favor. Take a screenshot, post it, and tag us at Ladies Kickin' Ass. Be sure to include the link to your favorite episode. Your support in spreading the word means the world to us as we aim to empower even more women. Hit that subscribe button to stay tuned for more kick-ass episodes. And don't forget, a 5-star review is the ultimate high five. Connect with us on social media. All the links are in the show notes. Thank you for being part of our tribe. Now go kick some serious ass, lady.